when I look back in my life, especially on my in my childhood, one of the memories that comes to mind was one of the ones that's more vivid. I guess was a time when I should have been, I don't know, maybe 16, 17, in my teens, and I much as I was a believer going to church, but I didn't feel complete. I think the challenges I was going through were overwhelming me at that time, and I despaired of life itself. And I decided to take my own life. Unfortunately, when I look back now, I would say it was unfortunate. So it's something that I don't tell a lot of people, but a few close people, I have shared it with them, just to motivate them and encourage them. And the so okay, let me go through the story first, then I'll talk about the rationale of the story. So I decided, I left home, and I didn't tell anyone. I was living with my parents then. I had an alteration with the people I was staying with, and I decided it was my time, to give up and to go. And the way of me going out of this world was to throw myself um, in in a nearby river. So I I started off with the intention of just you know getting rid of myself, basically, in other words. And it was about um, a kilometer up to where the river was, the Kafue River on the Copper Belt. So as I was there, I think I was just angry, and I was really determined that I'll do this. I'll get on this canoe and I'll throw myself in the river. And it was uh, often said that there were crocodiles in the river. So I thought, anyway, that would be my way of going. So as I was heading towards the river, I remember as I was approaching the river itself, there was a procession of some people coming my way, and they were carrying some kind of a reed basket. And initially, I didn't know what it was all about, because I was self-absorbed and just going through my personal emotions. As I got nearer, I noticed that they were crying. It was a funeral procession. So my view changed a bit, and I was like, okay, so what's this happening? So when they just approached me, and were just a few meters in front of me, the 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 wheelbarrow, or the carriage that they were carrying, kind of like slipped on a few rocks, and the blanket that was covering what I didn't know they were carrying at that point opened up, and there was this dead person. So essentially, this person had died across the river where there were some villages, and they were taking him to the mortuary. And so they passed, and then I also continued. And I sat by the side of the river, and I thought, okay, is that where I want to be? Is that where I want to go? And the rationale, basically, of the story is that uh, when God wants to reach out to us, He'll find a way to communicate to us. At times, we are so self-absorbed in what we are going through and what we are feeling, but we But he's always there, to give us those reminder. I think for me that was a reminder from God saying, "Hey, look, that's not where you need to be." I don't think that was coincidence at all. I think that was God communicating at that time. And I think the same goes with other people. I think God finds a way to communicate with us. Um, he communicates with us through scripture. you know you read a scripture and it impresses something upon you, and there's that conviction on your life. He'll perhaps bring certain situations. For others, I know there have been cases where it's perhaps an accident and you find yourself unscathed in that instant. I don't think that makes you any special or different, but I think it's just a timely reminder from God to us to say, "Hey, look, I'm not yet done with you, and you still have time on this earth. You can still make a difference um, on this earth." Um, I one of my favorite scriptures uh, um, is in the book of Psalms. Should be 103, which talks about the benefits of righteousness. God delivers us from certain situations. I'm paraphrasing, but it talks about Him delivering us from the pit, satisfying our lives with good things. It will not always be rosy. It will not always be great. There will be downs and there will be ups, but we can always, reach out to God. We can always find a way to, um, um, you know, to we can always find a way for some quiet moment to just talk to Him and then tell Him what we are going through and what we're experiencing. And it's always important to also have support, through the communities, through the structures in the church. Having someone you are accountable to, accountability partners who when you are going through something, you can talk to them and you can reach out to them, because I know there are lots of young people out there who have been in that situation where they have despaired of life itself. Okay, and others will even end up killing themselves, or dying. Others might not be that fortunate, but it's always important that they find someone who they can reach out to and talk to. And we also, perhaps, who might be more spiritually mature or much more emotionally together, I think it's always important that we are there to look at those indicators, and always periodically, checking up and encouraging someone who is younger, in the faith. It's always important, to just single out maybe one person, two people who you can always call up and check up, because you really don't know what they're going through. And really, and some people who have lost the faith, that has been one of the biggest issues, the biggest challenges. They would say, well, I there was no one there for me when I needed them. There was no one there, to push me ahead, to encourage me. And so we just have to be on the lookout for those things. Yeah. So in short, that's it. I know I've talked about the experience of wanting to, physically let go or kill myself, but spiritually also, I think individuals might, kill themselves also spiritually, deliberately. So it's always important that we are aware of that and we find a way to reach out. That's our core business as believers. In another way, that's our duty. Yeah, above everything, above the music and all that, it's about reaching out and saving that sheep that goes astray. Yeah. I'm Reubie, and that is my story.